guys, welcome to episode 3 of Dash and Holmesy Take Your Hearts. I'm one of your hosts, Dash, along with my co-host, Holmesy. How are you, Holmesy?
I am doing incredibly well, man. How are you? How's your Friday going?
I am having an awesome Friday, doing swimmingly, of course. Unfortunately, we just had to redo this intro again. But
breaking that wall.
You were just telling me that it was cold, and it is freaking freezing at the moment. But
it is insanely cold, but keeping a cup of tea on me, keeping good, keeping warm, keeping
of course
Holmesy.
That's it, keeping cozy Holmesy, that's for sure.
Cozy Holmesy.
Guys, if you didn't know, this is Dash and Holmesy Take Your Hearts. It's our tri-weekly book club inspired gaming podcast where Holmesy and I will be looking into some of the hottest games out right now. This is our Persona series, Take Your Hearts, where we'll dive right into the game and dissect Holmesy's first playthrough of it. Don't forget to follow us on SoundCloud, soundcloud.com/dashandholmesy, and on iTunes, where you can give us a cheeky 5-star rating and also give us a review, but also catch us every 3 weeks on 8bit.net with our hungry family. Holmesy, let's jump right into it.
Yes.
So, where are you up to at the moment? What date are you up to?
So we're up to the 20th of May, or 20th of the 5th. So right. There's been some stuff that has happened. So we've just crossed paths with, we've had had more of an interaction with Yusuke and Madarame.
Right.
I don't know if I pronounced the is it Madarame? Yeah, it's Madarame.
Madarame, yeah, you know, you're going right. Yep.
We've had a lot more of an interaction with them, and we're into our next palace.
Right.
We're learning more about the characters, and we've got a new part of our party. We have 5 people in our party now, which I'm guessing might be the. I know you mentioned before. There's a pretty pivotal point in the game. Some stuff kind of changes, and it's pretty cool having a 5th character. I gotta say, having a 5th person in the party, and he. Yusuke has got some cool shit, I will say that.
So let's talk a little bit about Yusuke and his character in the game. And last time we talked, you obviously had just met Yusuke outside the train station, was it?
Yeah, and he was real creepy because he was following after Lady Anne.
Yeah, pretty much. And,
yes, I do remember that.
Yeah, how much? So right now, where you're up to? So you've hit the 20th. How much have you learned of the character so far?
Quite a lot so far. So, I mean,
right.
Obviously we know, like now where I'm up to, we know that Yusuke had been taken in by Madarame when he was quite young, because his mama passed away. And so basically, Madarame had been pretty much central to his upbringing and just like raising him. But because of that, he also felt that he owed Madarame a lot. Basically, Madarame has been using Yusuke and other pupils under his teaching for, I guess, like in the art world, and exploiting them, getting work from them, and basically, this is why he is the next palace target, because he thinks so highly of himself as being this god of art. So
exactly.
I'm looking forward to taking this guy down. I'm very excited for it.
Right. What do you think of? I was going to say, what do you think of? Essentially, Madarame's palace design. Like, we expecting something so how do I put it? Eccentric of somebody who thinks of themselves, like being a narcissist and everything. Were you expecting something different from the design of the palace, or are you were you pretty surprised by it, or?
It's pretty shiny. I gotta say that from the outside looking in, it's very shiny. But I actually really, really like it. I know. So for anybody who's listening that doesn't know, Dash has an incredible disdain for Destiny.
I do,
and really doesn't like the game. But it's got, because I've been playing so much Destiny, there's a raid in that game which has got like lots of shiny stuff in it, like got the blue, purple, gold look and feel. And this palace has kind of got that similar sort of shiny vibe in that sense. And so I saw it and I'm just like, I feel like I'm doing a raid right now. This is good. I like the visual appeal. So as much as we hate Madarame, I like his palace. I got to say, if I could live somewhere, it'd be Madarame's
palace?
Metaverse palace. Yeah.
Well, how far into the palace are you? Like, where have you stopped so far?
Well, I mean, going off of the safe room little kind of powwow that we have, it says I'm about halfway.
Okay.
I'm making my way. We've gotten the second part
downtown.
of because his palace is a museum. There's pamphlets conveniently strewn around the place. Really, there's only 2 sets, but we've just unlocked the second half of the map, We've got a few more different enemies that are coming up, and we've infiltrated. We've just done the bit where we've just had the bit where Lady Ann has to pretend that she is going to actually genuinely pose nude for Yusuke's paintings, and then we open up the door, and that triggers Madarame's cognition to realize that his door is not impenetrable, that someone can get in, and then the other guys have just gotten in. And
so that's where you're up to right now. You've just opened up those doors, yeah?
A little bit after that. So I've just done that. We've gone back in together as a team for the second time, and we've just had Yusuke turn into one of the Phantom Thieves. So that's where we're up to right now.
Oh, very cool. So now it's come to light what... has Yusuke, like in your story, has Yusuke actually seen what his master's like, or have you actually seen Shadow Madarame yet, or?
Yeah, we have. Yeah, we did see him. Okay. So we didn't get to fight him, but we get to fight some of his minions. I gotta say, of all the characters, Yusuke right now, aside from the weird like following stuff and like getting all hot and heavy about painting Lady Ann nude, aside from the creepy like weird shit, he's actually fucking badass. I really like Yusuke's character.
Yeah,
I'm quite a fan. Like when the first time he's like confronting Madarame, like Shadow Madarame, and he like draws his sword and shit and just like holds his hand out, and then all these fucking minions just like evaporate into thin air. Like, most badass intro for any character in this game. He is probably my favorite so far. I'm very much a fan of him.
Very nice. It's funny that you mentioned this. So I've been watching Moggleberry's playthrough of it at the moment on Twitch. So she's playing through it right now on Twitch, and every time Yusuke comes up on screen or there's a dialogue from the guy or anything, she has nothing but disdain for this guy. Like, she hates Yusuke for some reason. Like, she's just hate. Yeah, I think what it is the creepiness, the character, the creep. Like, she goes, I've dealt with so many creeps in my time. I just hate this guy. I just can't stand how creepy he is. I'm like, but I've told her, you gotta appreciate how well the character is played. It's played like so well. The guy's a badass, and she's like, nah, I hate him. It's so bad.
I mean, I like his like the sudden sense of justice and like vengeance that he has for Madarame, like after it's all happened, like, and how he's just very direct with everything and very articulate, and I really like his character in that sense. But like the creepy stuff, like, you know, get rid of that shit. Don't do it. I mean, low key, Morgana's more creepy than Yusuke, because Morgana fucking calls Lady Ann like gorgeous whenever she does some cool shit. She gets like a mad cow. Sorry, that's right. I keep forgetting that it's a girl playing a boy character that actually sounds like a girl anyway. It's confusing.
I know.
But yeah, Morgana gets like a little cat boner every time Lady Ann does something cool, or like something like, you talk about paint Lady Ann nude, and suddenly Morgana's like, wow, that's some good shit. So let's be real here, guys. If you post a comment, who's more creepy, Morgana or Yusuke? Because I'm voting Morgana. But anyway,
you realize now I'm gonna have the raw audio of you doing that row
and we're never going to clip it again. You will never speak of this again. Delete this entire VOD. Goodbye, guys. Thanks so much for watching, listening. Have a good night.
Hey, guess who's getting a new Twitch command?
No one is.
So you still haven't warmed up to Morgana at all, haven't you?
I don't. I really don't like his character. Fucking hell.
That's all right.
Every time.
Fair enough. Hey, speaking of characters, so are we still sitting on Sojiro as your favorite?
Yeah, Sojiro is the dad that we never had. He's
so you're still sitting on Sojiro even after getting introduced to Yusuke?
I mean, Yusuke's really, really cool, but like Sojiro's just like he's just zen, man. He's so chill. Yeah. And he's like he's got this sort of like stern discipline that's like, he's like saying like, you know, don't get into shit. But deep down he cares. Like, he's starting to care. It's just like, I like that kind of... I like that character he's got going on.
I was going to say, have you started closing the... have you started forming more of a bond with him? Or are you still pretty much like... Is he still pretty much like, I hate you?
No, like, after we finished the last palace, like, the downtime in between was the most progress we got to make. But I didn't really get to do too much more. I haven't had the chance, actually. Every time I've gone back to the to LeBlanc and actually seen him, I haven't been able to interact and make coffee or do anything with him, just because now we have like, since the last event that's happened, like there's the whole I guess like he's threatening legal action because of us breaking and entering into his studio and such. Now there's that time sensitivity. The game's like, hey, do you really want to spend your time doing any of this stuff? Like, you're tired from a day out. You should go rest, not hang out with Sojiro or study. So the game's kind of guiding me as being like, there's some time sensitive stuff going on. Don't waste it. And it just makes me sleep and then go to the next day and progress instead. So,
right. How much do you appreciate that though? Like, is it something that annoys you, or something that you kind of sit back and go, no, I can understand why it's like this? Or
you mean the time sensitivity? Yeah.
Yeah.
I do. Actually, I really, really like it because if there was none of that, you could literally spend a whole day just running around like looping enemies in the castle, like, or in the palace over and over again. Like, you could just do that.
Right.
And, like, I don't know, the fact that there's always stuff progressing and there's a reason. Like, you can't go, you need to spend money to get, like, the only way you could literally stay and grind for an entire day, and I literally don't waste my items or my money on this, is if you went out and bought items for SP recovery to then use your HP recovery and loop inside the palace and keep grinding out for an entire day. But like, there's no point doing that. So like, as soon as my SP gets low enough, I'm just like, okay, go sleep. Next day, let's get going. And then like everything else, like the fact that it directs you, like it doesn't handhold you, but there's like everything else that you could possibly do. It doesn't give you the opportunity to do it because it's like, you're gonna waste a day doing this when there's other stuff you need to focus on. I like it. I do like the way it works.
Very cool. I was going to ask you, so your current confidants at the moment, have you built any more trust with them, or have you actually met any new ones, or have you been building on your current ones, or?
I did have one, and I'm gonna blank on some people's names. Someone's is the plural for someone, by the way, guys. The two the good cop bad cop people that are in your sort of like prison cell. The two girls that always talk to you whenever you go there to do like your persona sacrifices.
Shit, I'm even blanking on their names right now.
Yeah. Hey.
Now go
what's going on, man? You're like the persona king.
Dude, go on, please. Go on. I'll find out the names now.
But yeah, they've just recently become confidants as well. I gotta say though, and this is like something I'm gonna praise, but also something that you might be upset that I'm not doing it. I haven't really cared too much for the confidant kind of thing. And
oh, really?
My praise in a way is that like if you don't do it, the game, there's no mechanic in the game that's like, hey, we notice your confidants are all level 1, you piece of shit, pick your game up. It's like, some of mine are level 1, and there's no problem with that, but others are like level 2 or 3, and it's like, hey, have some bonus XP. But if you don't do it, the game doesn't care, and I really like that. I like that it's like something you can look at and focus on if you want to, but if you don't, life goes on. So there's all these mechanics. I mentioned this in like the first episode. There's all these mechanics, so many different things to monitor and take care of, and that was one of them, and I'm like, fuck, it's not just a mechanic, but lots of different characters for it. I'm not going to remember all of this. Turns out, it doesn't matter if I don't. So that's great. I love that.
So, thanks to RPGsite.net, I can actually tell you that the twin jailers' names are Caroline and Justine.
There you go.
And the old man, of course, we all know as Igor. I was going to say, though, so to rebut on what you've just said, so actually to agree with you and rebut you. So I agree. It doesn't actually tell you, hey, pick up your game with your confidants, because if you don't, you'll lose because you're a bitch. And if you basically, the thing is, to rebut you on passing that by, like not having enough confidants. So, like I told you, I think the more confidants you have and the more you build them, your social stats will grow as you get closer with them as well. So, like when you are building your relationship with your confidants, there's a good chance that your guts, your proficiency, your charm, your kindness, and your knowledge, they can all potentially grow towards the final act of the game as well, which will really help you in the end too. Especially also while you're grinding through mementos as well. And you'll find that going through different levels of mementos, if you grind through mementos and level up and everything, that's great. But even if you can also build those social stats throughout the game.
Sean Connery on me.
Yeah, the social stats throughout the game, and what you'll find is that each level of mementos that you go through afterwards, you'll get feared. So, like, how you go through mementos and a shadow will come after you. If you build your level and your social stats to a certain point, what will happen is the shadow instead will actually start cowering and fear you and run away. It won't actually try to battle you.
Really?
Yeah. So the more you
so
build,
cool.
Yeah, so the more you build like your charm, your proficiency, and all this other stuff, if the shadow that is in front of you doesn't have that same level, like if it's a level lower than you, it'll run. Like it'll automatically say, "No, fuck this shit, I'm out," and it'll like legit run. So yeah, and also it's a bit of a time. It's also a time saver. So the good thing about Mementos is that it's essentially the grinding farm, like the stats farm, the XP farm, and if you go through the game normally too, you'll find that Mementos will also be easier as well. So you got one of two ways to actually get through the game. You can either XP farm in Mementos, or build your social stats in the real world as well. Or you can do both at the same time, and that'll actually help you, as I said, at the final act of the game, which will be pretty big. Will be a big challenge once you get there. So. But yeah, no, I mean, in terms of, have you seen your current stats, like your guts, proficiency, your charm, and your kindness, and your knowledge? Have you seen what you're up to on those?
I have. Yeah, I don't know. I can't recall what it was because I was at a certain point in the game, and I watched like the dialogue pan out or whatever, and I couldn't tell you where I was and what I was doing, but I saw something start. I saw a conversation start happening, and like I did actually get up and grab a drink real quick, and I came back and I was like, "Hey, your charm's gone up." I'm like, I don't know what I did, but sure. Oh. I think it might have been a billboard at the school, because it was to do with I think people were reading stuff about the Phantom Thieves and something about seeing what they were doing. As
So your exam results.
Oh, that's it. It was a billboard. Yeah, cool. That's right. Because because people are seeing I'm smart. Because I've been cheating. I've been cheating just a little bit. And every time those quizzes come up, like some of them I've known, but like other ones, it's just like, you know what, I'm just gonna get all the answers right, so I'll just Google them.
No, fair enough.
And like I've been doing that, and my knowledge has been going up. And I guess like because I'm also a smart ass MF, people like that too. So knowledge is sexy, guys. This is Dating with Dash and Holmesy, and knowledge is sexy. You heard it here
knowledge
first.
Knowledge is sexy.
But yeah, it's good. That's the last time I saw it. To answer your question,
have you actually been grinding Mementos at the moment, or have you been focusing mainly on the story so far?
I've been pumping story because my character feels strong enough to get through what I'm at the moment, and I feel like my kind of routine is going to be like knocking out a palace and then doing I can't remember what they're called now, but they're in the Mementos, the small like little tasks that you got for people that are in there, like the sort of like the not the mini palaces, but like the small change of hearts you can perform. So I've just been pretty much doing the palace, defeating enemies all the way through that, and then coming back doing the mini Mementos challenges, and then going to the next one. Yeah. So that seems to be enough to keep me above the water, like quite a bit. And then like I've gone through this next palace has been a breeze. Like I died once because I got caught off guard, and I didn't realize how low my SP was. But aside from that, like, you know, it's been great. It's been really. Oh, can I just say, can I tack something on really quickly from the last point that we had before as well? I think it's really clever the way they implemented another time sensitive palace here. This one being like an art exhibition. Not only for the fact that it's like, hey, we have to change his heart before the art exhibition, but also the fact that he can't sue you until after the art exhibition. I was just like, he's going to sue us. Like, we're done for. He's going to have to do that right now. But it's like, no, he can't because he doesn't want to look bad during an art exhibition having a court case going on. So I thought that was really clever story writing. I really, really appreciated that being the way they implemented that in the game. That's just just to touch base on an old point today as well, yeah.
No, I'm glad you say that because the thing was a lot of people had a lot to say about like how the story is being written for a lot of the game, and this was one of those things where a lot of people tried to make the excuse where they just threw that in because, you know, you got to have that time limit in the game, and it's like, yeah, you do have to have that time limit depending on the difficulty you are playing it at. And we covered this last episode as well, where you actually changed your difficulty from, I think you were playing easy, and you changed it to story so that like every time you did lose, you kind of did that Kingdom Hearts thing where you could revive yourself and restart the battle, which is something I dearly appreciate because it's something that I personally find in an RPG these days we don't need anymore, because if it's an RPG that we're trying to get through, and enjoy for its for its story and also for its competitive gameplay. Because I tell you something, the combat in some of this, even in story mode, is difficult as fuck, and like losing is a thing that will happen no matter what difficulty you are playing at in this game, and. But a lot of people were trying to say that, oh, hey, don't you find that it's a little convenient for something like that to happen in 20 days and then afterwards you got to wait those 20? It's like, well, try playing it on the most, the most hard difficulty in the game and tell me that you wouldn't appreciate that little sublet of days, like you get like a remaining 20 days to exit the palace, regain your strength and everything, then come back and tell me that it's a bit of an excuse, because there are people out there who play it on like extreme difficulty that can't get through the palace because of how hard it actually is. So,
grim.
Yeah, I know. Tell me about it. Hey, I was going to ask you. So, in comparison now to Kamoshida's palace to where you are now, how are you finding it? Like you just said that you're finding it a breeze. How are you finding it interest-wise right now throughout from Kamoshida's palace to this palace?
So much better. I fucking hate Kamoshida's palace compared to this one. I'm sorry. I'm just gonna that whole palace was just. They could have made it so much shorter. They could have just given you it could have been like the tiny palace, because I don't know. It felt
the tiny palace.
The tiny palace. It could have been like Kamoshida's. I can't think of a good way to alliterate a name for a palace here, so...
The tiny penis for the tiny palace.
That one, there you go. Kamoshida's tiny penis palace.
There you go.
But doing that one compared to this, there were so many different levels and ways to infiltrate, and it felt like you were running through that place forever. Yeah. And I didn't retain a lot of information that they give you about how to play the game in the start. If they'd have made it like this... squished down, here's lots of info in a short time kind of thing, and here's lots of ways to repeat those things you're supposed to be grinding and working on, then I think that would have been more effective, because I struggled. I struggled. If you guys have watched episodes 1 and 2, then you'll know I struggled. So
even watching you watching you on Twitch, streaming it at one point, and I mean, you were saying when you first streamed it that you were enjoying it and everything, but there were those moments where you even said, "Oh, I don't know what's going on here." Just different things you were saying to me. But I'm glad that you're actually really enjoying it, because I told you that once you got past that hurdle of Kamoshida's palace, it's going to start picking up the pace. And the thing is, you've met one new Persona user so far, and you've got so many more to go, which is good. But the thing is, the story from here on is just an upward. It's just up, from here. There's no plateau. There's no downhill. It just goes up, which is good.
That's good. Yeah, because actually, I've got that written in my notes here too. I was like, you know what? Since getting to this next palace, the pacing has been not perfect, but close. No. It's really, it's so much it's faster paced, it's more interesting, it's more engaging. I'm always learning new stuff about characters and places and how this whole metaverse works, and I really am enjoying it more so far,
Speaking of which, what have you learned that's new from your characters?
I mean, nothing about Weeaboo so far. Nothing about Weeaboo Senpai, really.
Okay, fair enough.
He's just my character.
I keep forgetting that his name is Weeaboo Senpai.
Weeaboo Senpai, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm trying to recall now. I don't recall learning too much more about them, aside from...
Okay. Yusuke,
yeah, he's a whole new character. I don't recall seeing anything about Ryuji or Lady Ann. Obviously, actually, I think there might have been a tiny bit about Ryuji and I can't recall now. There was a little bit of... Oh, no, we already learnt about that. There's a backstory about his injury during, track and all that, and, the way Kamoshida treated him at the very end, some of the track team were, trying to connect with him again, stuff like that. That was only a really small thing, but I've not heard anything about Lady Ann, and it's really just been Yusuke and Madarame. Is there something that I should have seen, or is that maybe coming out later? No. There's going to be more info?
Hey, this is a good thing about the game, is that it's pretty much like a choose your own path. So that's why I've asked if you've learned anything about the characters, or even the confidants that you've made, if you've learned anything new about them at all. I mean, even Sojiro, you'll learn new stuff. You'll learn a lot about his life and the story, everything that you were doing right now, everything that you have seen and done and everybody that you've met, it all comes to a head, basically. I won't say how, but it's just, it's really cool, and I think you'll really appreciate how they wrap up this story. But the thing is, right now, like where you're at, it's early days, and you are still learning a lot about, your persona, well, your personas. You're still learning a lot about your characters, which you will learn a lot more as well. You'll also learn a lot about your confidants and how they will affect your personas, your story as well, and how you choose to forge your own story, basically. Like, everything that you were doing is going to mold your story in the end. It's not. See, this is the thing about this one. It's weird because it's not marketed as a choose your own path kind of story. It's marketed essentially as a JRPG, and not a lot of JRPGs have this kind of in them where you kind of forge your own story, which is kind of unique in Persona. With Persona, I guess that it kind of lets you do that. In the essence of these confidants that you were meeting and the way that you kind of forge your companionship with them, because it could go one way or the other with them. You could be the biggest dick on the earth and they will hate you forever, or if they love you, it'll essentially help you down the line as well, and unlock new things and help you out in battle. And it just surprises you sometimes, like when you're in the midst of a battle and something will happen. It's like, yeah, but you did this, so this helps you out, and it's like, well, that's fucking awesome. I need that. So it's different things like that you'll learn as you go, because there will be characters that, like, if, for example, you don't like Morgana, I guess, which is part of your own party, but but there will be confidants as you go that you'll turn around and be like, I don't know if I can give her that much time, because I just did I'll let you know, I just did my third playthrough of the game. I hit 250 hours, right?
Fuck,
and
man.
Dude, I tried to max everybody in the game, and I still couldn't do it. Like, I spent, I think, this playthrough was at least 120 hours of my save file. And it was just the fact that even going through New Game Plus and having my social stats up to max and having, different things, items that I carried over from my last gameplay and everything, I just still couldn't get everybody to max. I still couldn't meet everybody. I still couldn't give everybody my time, all my confidants. I really wanted to. I really want that platinum for this game. Like, there's only one game I've got on my PlayStation that I've platinum, and I think that was Infamous Second Son.
Nice.
But I really, really want the platinum for Persona 5. And so I'm doing a fourth gameplay now of it because I really still want that platinum. And I want to max everybody in the one playthrough. I want to be able to find out, like, everybody's backstory. Because I still don't know I still haven't met, there's one confidant that I still have not met in the 3 playthroughs that I've done. And I still got to figure out how to meet them and what I need to do to max them and everything. So, like, almost 300 hours in, and I still haven't done everything in this game. It's such a massive game. I think a lot of people don't understand when they jump. I mean, I remember even giving the game to you on the day, and I said, here you go. And you looked at it and go, oh, yeah, no problem. Yeah, I'll play through it and whatever. And I'm like, yeah, we'll do the podcast and everything, which is cool. And then when you found out that it was a minimum 80 hours long, the look on your face was like, oh my God.
Yeah, well, it sounded like a chore at first, because I was just like, man, this is such a long time to sink into, like, one storyline, but I can see how people can get sucked into it. Yeah.
Well, that's the thing. Like, now I should ask, how are you finding it so far? Like, what's your feelings right now in the story? Especially since, like you just said it, a lot of people felt that it was going to be a chore to get through a 100+ hour game, I guess. How are you finding it right now? I know that, as I said, early days, you're only up to, like, midway through the second boss from Kamoshida to Madarame, but how are you finding it now?
Much more interesting. I'm finding it a lot more engaging, and there's always new stuff because there's something new to find out, and, like, there's always something interesting, like a key story point, like even things like all right, so one of the things that, like, made me, like, really want to beat this palace even more now was doing the part with Yusuke and An with the painting, and, like, she walks in with, like, all her jumpers and clothes on and stuff, and, like, she takes all those off and tries to get into that locked room.
I love that part.
Like, that bit, mate, I had a bit of a laugh at that. Like, that was cool. I enjoyed that. Yeah. But then when Madarame turns up and catches them, like, he starts giving out this sob story, like, someone stole my painting. I've been making copies to get by. I'm in debt, etc., etc. And like when he started saying that, at first I was like, oh boy, is this like? I thought it was going to be. I was expecting it to just be like, if this is what it is, we're just going to go straight to the palace, unlock it, kill him, we're good. But then I actually started feeling sorry for him in that bit of dialogue, and then they catch him out as lying, and I'm like, son of a bitch, he tricked me too. Fuck him, let's kill him. And so, not kill him, but like kill his shadow. Or not kill his shadow. Sorry, let's change his heart. But
there you go.
But that let's like when that happened, like when the game made me think that it wasn't him that was the problem for a moment, I was like, okay, now I feel bad for jumping to conclusions a bit. And then all this stuff happens, and I'm like, all right, that's it. This guy's done. We're cooking him. Let's roast him. So like, I'm more motivated now after being personally tricked by the character in the game. I'm even more motivated to kick his ass now. So
beautiful. See, that's the best thing. Yeah, I love that because that's exactly how I felt too. I felt betrayed by this character as well because he seemed like a sweet old man at the start, especially when you rock up to his house and it's like all these stories that you found from mementos that carried over. So going back again to our second episode where that shadow that you faced in mementos, where he said, "Oh, my master, my old painting master, or whatever, Madarame, da-da-da-da," and then rocking up to his house and meeting him, and he's like, such a sweet old man. He's like, "Oh, you can forgive him, Yusuke, you can forgive him, but, if anything, please come into the house and don't argue, because we do have neighbors around, and I don't want to cause a commotion, but you can come in and, or whatever." It's like, what a sweet old man, but...
that messed me up a little bit, because I'm like, he seems so nice and friendly, and that whole facade, once you finally see his shadow, basically his true side, it's just like, man, this guy is a prick. This guy sucks.
What a dick. Yeah. I was gonna say, did he happen to? Because I can't remember this part where you meet him. And it's unbelievable because I just finished the third gameplay. So here's the thing: the game is so long that when you get to that, like even starting a new gameplay, you forget everything at the start, and then you keep going. And that's the thing; you're going to forget a lot of things from playing your first playthrough as well.
Definitely. Yeah,
it's such a long game. As I said, you're in for the long haul now, right? It's like when you get to the end, you're going to look back at this and go, "Oh yeah, I remember that. Jeez, that was so long ago that I forgot about it." And the thing is, I've started my fourth gameplay, and even going back to the start again. Like, there are so many things that are happening. I'm like, oh my God, I've forgotten all about this. And so the thing is, like we just mentioned, the Madarame part, meeting him and all that. Did you happen to catch what his backstory was to Yusuke as well?
You mean Madarame's one, like bringing him up?
Yeah. So, like, do you remember what he said about Yusuke and how he brought him in and everything?
Vaguely, I remember some of that stuff on the topic of forgetting things. I do remember him talking about, bringing him in and raising him as his own, like taking him in and basically, looking after him in the meantime because he had no one else.
Yeah. Do you know why?
Because his mum had passed away.
That's it. Do you know how?
No, I don't think I've been told that yet.
Okay.
At least I don't recall. If I have, then I don't recall that part. But I know, that Yusuke's mum had passed away, and he had nobody else. So he'd.
Okay. Oh yeah, that's right. So no, you are right. You are right. No, you're correct, because we don't find that out until later. So that's fine. Anyway, so I've kind of lost where I just skipped forward, so I've got to go backwards now. So the thing is, with Madarame's character as well, that juxtaposition of actually having that sweet old man and then turning out to be an arsehole. And also, the thing is with his cognition, are you starting to understand also the way that they're kind of infiltrating and changing cognition towards a shadow as well?
Yeah, I picked that up. I kind of understood that pretty quickly. Like, same as the things like I mentioned before, like the padlock in the house. Like, there's something in the real world that is... Something in the real world is also being resembled in their metaverse palace. Yeah. So if you change their mental state or the way that they think about something, as long as they believe that something is impenetrable in the metaverse, it will be impenetrable. So that's right, yeah. If you change his thoughts on that lock being something that you can't get past, as soon as he saw that someone could break in there, all the locks went down in the metaverse. So like I got that. I understood that when I went through the first palace, because there was stuff there that kind of like explained the same thing as well. That bit I kind of understood pretty quickly. Yeah.
Yeah, you're going to find a lot of that happening now from this point forward. You're going to find that there's going to be certain tasks that you have to do, like you said, oh, I don't understand the mundane tasks of, having to travel to school and everything. And this is a good thing, is that now I think you're up to the point where none of that is happening.
You don't have to do it. Yes, yes. I didn't have to do it. It mentioned going somewhere on a train before, and I was like, not again.
Yeah.
No, I didn't have to do it.
Yeah. As I said, you mentioned all that stuff is like, the mundane tasks of catching a train and everything. So the good thing is that you don't have to do all that stuff anymore. But there will be tasks that you will see again come through. However, those are all part of the cognitive worlds and how the cognition will change in like mementos and everything else. So the reason that it's as I said, everything happens in this game for a purpose. Even the mundane tasks that you're going through will happen for a purpose. But the good thing is that when you mentioned, I hate traveling the train, I hate doing this, I hate doing that, there is parts of those that will come back so that you understand what you're doing, so that when it does come up in like mementos, we've got to go back to the real world and change this. At least you'll know that, okay, this is what I have to do. I've got to go here. And because it won't directly tell you. It won't tell you, okay, you got to go back and do this. No, it's you got to go back to the real world and find out what's happening. So stuff like that will happen now because you've basically been introduced to that kind of that cognitive change. Yeah.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah. What else was I going to say? So have you stumbled across trying to build, as in your items, your money, and everything else? Have you figured out how that's going to apply in the metaverse as well?
Items and money and such, not so much so far. I've spent a lot of time because I did have a bit of a dabble in changing my personas, so I fused a few of those and made some good ones, which is cool. But,
awesome.
Most of my because my inventory filled up, I captured so many, or I took on so many new personas that it said hey, you've got too many, you need to get rid of some of these. So I was like, well, time to go lob some heads off. So I did that, but I used a lot of my money in my last run for the palace, just after the palace, because I bought I didn't, so I think I might have done this wrong, but I went through the last palace and I didn't really buy much at all. I finished the palace, and then in the downtime I was like, hey, I have all this money, and I just basically kitted out I had enough money to buy every character, the best guns, best armor, best everything, ready to go. Nice. So because I'd waited that whole palace and gotten by, now I'm in this next one and I feel like I'm almost overpowered, but I really like that. And I haven't really spent much time buying. I need to buy items. I think the thing that I'm lacking so far with expenditure is I haven't got any revive. I can't remember the name of it now, but I think it's a life stone or something like that.
Oh yeah, yep.
I had one of them that I'd found, but I haven't actually bought any of those. And as soon as I lose a character, it's shit, I don't know what to do now because they're gone. I need to spend money on, I think, recovery items. But most of the time, I've just been kind of trying to time my runs between each safe room and each unique kind of encounter. But how else does it relate inside the metaverse aside from what you buy in the real world? Because I know you buy a gun in the real world and it comes through in the metaverse as something visually that you see as a powerful item. But what else is there?
I can't tell you that. You'll have to find that out. It's coming. All
right, cool.
So the thing is, now it's good because I really want to. What I was trying to get out of you right now was if you've met, I think his name's Wei, and at the gun shop. So you have now traveled to the gun shop. You've got you've got the best of the best, I guess, equipment. So have you actually made him a confidant yet, or is he still just a character?
He is. I'm pretty sure he's a confidant, but I am at a point because I still haven't. I need to raise. I think my guts is the next thing I need. Because I basically he gave me that paper bag from the last time we spoke to him, and it has a nice gun inside. I'm pretty sure, but I need to have enough guts to be able to turn around and be like, yo, why'd you give me this? What is this? What is it supposed to be for? So I need to raise that because right now the only thing I can do with him is go there and buy, sell. And that's it. So I'm going to do a bit more of that, but I haven't raised anything.
All right, I'll give you a bit of a tip on that one, so that, and anybody else out there who's listening to this as you play along, I guess this is a book club podcast. So a tip on that one is to go to the bathhouse, take baths in the bathhouse, because what happens is essentially you're in a steam room as well in the bathhouse, and the way it goes is that as much steam as you take in, as hot as it is in there, your guts will improve because you're a big man and you're able to take the pressure and all this other stuff. So that's one thing that you can do to raise your guts.
Cool.
And the other thing is that go to the library and study, because you are basically you're looked at school as a what's the word that I'm looking for here? You're a bad guy. You're viewed in the public as a bad person, right? And at school you're viewed as trouble. So what you need to do is go to the library and study in the library around other people, because what it is people are in the library talking about you. Like even when you study in the library, there's a cutscene that happens, and he's like reading a book and he's studying, and Morgana goes, "Nice going," and all that stuff, and then but around you, people are murmuring and talking about you, but you're still studying. So there will be some times where you go to study and it won't give you guts. It'll basically say, "No, you were too distracted by people talking about you in here, so no guts for you." But I think it depends on the day that you go as well. So if you go in the library and you study, it'll give you more guts, and also your knowledge will grow, and I think your charm at one point will grow too. So you get a few things there. I think you get like 3 stats in studying in the library, which is pretty good. Your proficiency is still, I think, based on baseball. So, like the baseball park that you go to. Have you ever been to the baseball park yet?
I have, but I bodged it a bunch the first time.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. You brought it up last week. Yeah. Oh, sorry, last time. Yeah. So the baseball park's proficiency, and also is in your room upstairs in the attic, there's a desk where you can tinker and make different things like what are they called? I'm blanking here. The key things, to break a padlock, basically.
Just like a lockpick thing, yeah.
There we go,
like
lockpick.
The hairpin.
Jesus, blanking on a lockpick. So you can make a lockpick. That actually helps your proficiency as well. And So there are different things that, like those, as I said, those mundane tasks, and I put that in quotation marks, mundane. But the thing is, some of them, I think that Mog found fishing the other night. I was watching her on Twitch, and she was fishing. I'm like, how the hell do you fish? I'm like, I didn't even know you could fish in this game. So there's fishing in the game as well that helps you out. I don't know what that raises, but apparently it raises something. It might even raise your proficiency. Who knows? But
proficiency.
Oh my god. But that'll help your proficiency. And I think reading books, so you can borrow books from the library as well, which will help your knowledge as well. Mm-hmm. That you can read on the train ride over to school. So like you'll be sitting on the train sometimes, and Morgana will say, "Hey, it'd be good if you had something to read." And it's like, well, yeah, I can go borrow a book from the library. But also Sojiro has a stack of mags on the bar there. So like when you walk into the cafe, there's a stack of magazines right next to the payphone that you can actually read. That'll help your knowledge. So that's another thing that you can use to grow your stats. So there you go. That's the basics of how to grow your stats, because there's heaps more tasks down the line that you'll run into to grow your stats as well. And I'm talking like confidence and in battle as well. So there are different things there that you'll be able to grow and level up. Do you know what level you're at the moment with Senpai at the moment?
16.
You're up to level 16. All right. Now, fair enough. And something I actually learned the other night from Mog's stream as well. See, Mog's helping us out here a little bit. Is that each level that you level up, you actually run into more personas as well. So, like, if you're at a certain level, like if you're just at a level 10, see, each palace does have its own personas as well. But the thing is, if you level up continuously in that palace, right, you get different personas. You'll run into different, enemies that you can actually collect as personas. Yeah.
Okay.
So, I just found this out the other night as well, because she was where was she? She was at a certain palace. I won't name it, but she was playing it. And I'm like, oh, how come you won't go back to the palace? Because she was out of the palace, and she was kind of she had about 10 or something days left. And I was like, oh, how come you don't jump back into the palace and do it? She's like, no, I want to level up and then go back into the palace because there's a certain persona that I want. I was like, oh, that's a thing? And she's like, yeah, so you basically grind on the outside wall, go through mementos, XP farm a little bit, and then essentially you go back into the palace. You'll be able to collect different personas and grow your persona farm, basically, like your mask and everything. I was like,
God damn,
oh,
okay.
yeah, I know. I thought, oh, okay, I'm at my third playthrough here and I didn't even know that. I'm like, okay. I'm learning new shit about this game all the time. So,
what level's your character now?
I just finished my third one, so I'm back down to level 6. But
your level resets. Okay.
Yeah. So your level resets, but your stats and everything will stay the same if you go through New Game Plus, right? Mm-hmm. So I believe, and I might be wrong, the maximum level in the game is 60. I might be wrong.
Oh, I think you are, only because I saw a persona that you could fuse. It was level 81.
There you go. So I think I only got to level 60 last time. So
shit. I mean, I saw 81 and I was like, man, I am not even a fourth of the way to that level. So, I mean, obviously levels aren't an indicator of how far you've gone through the game though either, because if that's the case, you finished it at level 60. So,
right.
Yeah, that's interesting.
So that's the thing. My run, I think, was 100 hours only last time. I've had a longer run than I did last time, and that was my second run. And even then, the people said, "Oh, you rushed it." I'm like, "I rushed it. I'm pretty sure that I played like 120 hours of this game. I'm pretty sure that I didn't rush this game." And they're like, "Yeah, but you realize that you can get up to." I must be shit. Like honestly, I must be shit at this game because I only got to level 60 this last playthrough, and I'm pretty sure that I only got like up to level 55 in the last one. I'm like, I must be shit. If people are telling me that I am rushing this game and I've spent 120 hours playing this game and I only got to level 55, that's also why I want to get back into it. My third run, I was like, there's got to be a way that I can easily
level.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I mean, obviously, shit is one take on it, but like, obviously, I mean, if you're able to finish the game, if you finish the game on level 60. And you're like a lower level and you can finish the game. Like that also means you're obviously smart at playing the game, or you're good at playing the game. You're efficient with your time management to be able to finish the game many levels lower than what other people take to do it. So
no,
speed run dash.
Oh no. See, that's the problem is that if I do a speed run, it just stuffs up your stats like badly.
Yeah, true. Yeah.
Yeah. And I don't want to do that. So this is the run that I'm actually trying to kind of focus really hard on and make sure that I'm working really hard with like my personas, my characters, my social stats and everything. I really want to get through it. I really, really, really want to platinum it this time. So we'll see what happens, I guess. I got to ask you though, so far, what's your... Like, you are enjoying this, and I'm glad that you are now. Like, I'm like, oh, God, I'm relieved that he's actually enjoying it now. But, like, at the end of it, what's your aim of the game here? Are you trying to just pass through this story and say, okay, I had a really good experience? Or are you trying to now see if you can grow your social stats and make new confidants to grow those stats? And are you thinking maybe that's what you would like to do, or are you trying to just get through the story?
To be honest, I'm looking to just get through the story only because like I know this game requires a lot of time and attention, but I'm working full time and doing Twitch. I'm pretty time poor, so I don't have a lot of time to kind of set aside just for this game. That being said, though, I would love to have this as like a spare game just every now and then. Like after I've finished it and we've done completed the podcast series. Absolutely, I'd love to come back and like play through the game once more and like spend the time, not as like a smash out and do everything like all the way, like a quick sitting. Casual. But I'd love to. It'd be like a book that you read like from time to time. It'd be like something you like pick up, play for a few hours, put it down, then come back to it another week or two later and pick up and do some more. Like it's definitely got like once I've played it through once as well, I know a bit of the story, so I'll be able to pick it up and put it down. I remember where I've come from, so. For the moment, for the sake of this, obviously, like I am really enjoying the game, and I'll play through the story. But afterwards, it'll be second playthrough if I do one. Will be the time that where I take my time and go through it. Yeah.
Now, I was gonna say, did you also seem that basically with the story ending as well, like not the story essentially ending, but you can also here's the thing, you got multiple paths in this story that you can get to as an ending, so you got to really be careful what you consider to choose. So you can actually end the story almost immediately, and that's the thing, and that's why I bring it up as well. So like while you're playing it, there are multiple paths and multiple endings in the story, and like you got to really be careful with your choices as well that you make, because they're not all considered true endings. Some endings are like almost cut you off in the game entirely.
I was going to say, a part of the time sensitivity thing as well, I was thinking is like, what happens if you get expelled? Does that just end the game?
Yeah,
that ends the game for sure. It's got to be an ending. That's got to be an ending.
It is an ending.
Time.
It is. There is an end. Yes. Okay. So we can actually pass that because you've actually passed Kamoshida's palace. Essentially, yes. So what happens is if you don't make the expulsion, like if you don't defeat Kamoshida at the expulsion, that's an ending to the game. But it's essentially like a game over. But there are choices in the game that you have to be careful with because it will end the game on you, is what I'm saying. Like, it's not a game over, it's an alternative end, but it's not the true ending. So you have to really be careful what choices you do make in the game and think about what you are choosing.
Oh, shit. Okay. Guys, this podcast might end up being a bit shorter than you expect if I make the wrong choice.
On purpose.
No, I'm not gonna. No, that's interesting to know though.
Yeah. Well, the good and the thing is, like, when you do make that wrong choice, that doesn't give you the choice that, hey, you can go back to that and make the alternative. No, it bounces you right back to the main menu, and the last save point is where you were. Yeah, so you got to really be careful in what you're thinking and what you choose and where you go. But I think where you are right now, I don't think you have to worry about that too much. It's about midway point through the game that you have to start worrying about that a little bit. But which is good. But I thought I'd give you a heads up because you'll get there soon. I'll put it that way. Not yet. You're only in the second palace, which is all right. But you will get there soon.
Can I ask how many palaces there are?
Good question, because I can't remember. Yeah, okay, 1, 2, hold on, I'm counting in my head. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think there's a minimum of 6, if I'm correct. 6 palaces.
Okay.
6 palaces, yeah, I'd say about 6 palaces.
That's not that bad. Yeah, I was expecting there to be more. I was expecting you to say like 8, 10, 12 or something like that.
No. So... yeah, I can't reveal any more than that, or else I'm going to
I would want to know any more anyway. But that's a good indicator about how far I am through the game as well. And
yeah, so cool. Yeah, and as I said, it's only an uphill battle from the story just goes up, and you're going to really find that it's just going to really keep the pace going for you.
It's good. No, I've
Holmesy,
been enjoying it so far. Yo,
I think that's it.
Yeah, man. Oh wow. Yeah, cool. All right. Yeah, we can wrap her up here. There's I got a bit more progress to make, obviously, for next time. But I feel like we covered.
Well, have you got anything else that you want to add to this, or?
No, you know what? Actually, everything I wanted to talk about has been as I look through what I've got written down. Yeah, we've covered everything.
We've covered everything. Yeah, that's
Beautiful.
good. No, awesome. Hey, Holmesy, thanks again for this week for joining me for this.
Thank you for having me on again. I'm looking forward to catching up in another 3 weeks' time.
Yeah. Awesome. Hey, guys, if you didn't know, this has been Dash and Holmesy Take Your Hearts, episode 3. You can follow Holmesy over on Twitter at Holmesy5, and you can also follow him on Twitch at twitch.tv/Holmesy5. You can follow me on Twitter, twitter.com/, I almost said twitter.tv, twitter.com/dashgamers. But be sure to follow us on SoundCloud, soundcloud.com/dashandholmesy, or you can go to dashandholmesy.com for now, and you'll find all the links there. And also follow us on iTunes, where you can rate us a cheeky 5 stars, and also give us a nice review. Guys, you can also catch us with our hungry family over at 8bit.net, where we post every 3 weeks. And you can also catch me and Buddy Watson over on Dash Culture, where we dive deep into the world of pop culture. Hey, Holmesy, once again, thank you for this week, and I'll see you in 3 weeks, yeah?
You shall indeed. Thank you very much for having me.
Not a problem, dude. Hey, guys, we'll see you guys in 3 weeks as well. Much love.
Stay hungry.